How to iterate over rows in a DataFrame in Pandas. I have a Pandas DataFrame, DF. How do I iterate over the rows of this DataFrame? For every row, I want to be able to access its elements, values and cells, by the name of the columns. For example, I found a similar question which suggests using either of these. But I do not understand what the row object is and how I can work with it.
You should use df.iterows. Though iterating row by row is not especially efficient since series objects have to be created.
DataFrame.iterows is a generator which yields both the index and row as a series. Obligatory disclaimer from the documentation. Iterating through Pandas objects is generally slow. In many cases, iterating manually over the rows is not needed and can be avoided with one of the following approaches. Look for a vectorized solution. Many operations can be performed using built-in methods or NumPy functions, Boolean indexing. When you have a function that cannot work on the full DataFrame/series at once, it is better to use apply, instead of iterating over the values. See the docs on function application if you need to do iterative manipulations on the values, but performance is important. Consider writing the inner loop with Python or number. See the enhancing performance section for some examples of this approach. Other answers in this thread delve into greater depth on alternatives to iter** functions if you are interested to learn more.
While iterows is a good option, sometimes itertuples can be much faster.
First consider if you really need to iterate over rows in a data frame. See CS95's answer for alternatives. If you still need to iterate over rows, you can use methods below. Note some important caveats which are not mentioned in any of the other answers. DataFrame.iterows, DataFrame.itertuples. Itertuples is supposed to be faster than iterows, but be aware, according to the docs, Pandas 0.24.2 at the moment, iterows type might not match from row to row. Because iterows returns a series for each row, it does not preserve types across the rows. Types are preserved across columns for data frames. To preserve types while iterating over the rows, it is better to use itertuples, which returns name tuples of the values and which is generally much faster than iterows. Iterows do not modify rows. You should never modify something you are iterating over. This is not guaranteed to work in all cases. Depending on the data types, the iterator returns a copy and not a view, and writing to it will have no effect. Use DataFrame.apply instead. Itertuples. The column names will be renamed to positional names if they are invalid Python identifiers, repeated, or start with an underscore. With a large number of columns, 255, regular tuples are returned. See Pandas docs on iteration for more details.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.